What's something your family doesn't know about you? I faked a job offer so I can move to another city that is 3,000 miles from them. Edit. The reason I faked the job offer because I still want to maintain a relationship with my family regardless of how control and oppressive they are. I got an actual interview, did everything but was not chosen. Instead of telling them that, I made fake contracts, letter of offer, and show it to them. Since the documents are in English and my parents can't understand, they just ask me questions and things, so lying is much easier. I just pack my suitcase, live off couch surfing, work a temp job for money and food for a while. It's hard, very tiring and financially unstable at first, but now I have a job, peace and much more confidence in voicing my opinions and feelings. I'm also slowly mending my relationship with my parents. Soon. This is exactly what I'm planning. Not to make this depressing, but they don't really see how lonely I am. I know how you feel. Every day I spend at home my mom gets mad at me because I don't go outside. Where should I go? I can't hang out with friends because I don't have any. I want to move out of home mostly so I could get mom off my back. She really doesn't know how terrible it is to hear her scream that I should spend time with my friends. That I'm infertile. They are waiting for babies, but they won't be coming. I'm the same way. When my mom was on her deathbed she was a bit delirious, and I guess didn't remember me being so chubby, so she asked if I was pregnant. I told her yes, just to see her smile one last time. She always wanted grandchildren, but I couldn't give them to her. I used to have a crippling opiate addiction and contemplated ending my life numerous times, but was able to detox and get myself clean cold turkey, all without them even knowing I had the problem. I've since had a conversation with my dad about it. He thought I had just decided to move away from my home because of a better job, when in reality it was to separate myself from all of my old connects. I actually took a pay cut at the new job. In a hoe. 2 years later I'm doing better than ever. However, I have stayed out of town for obvious reasons. I'm glad you're doing better. I understand Ukrainian, and I know they talk about how I should have been aborted or given away. Why would they think you don't speak it? Everyone else in my family is fluent in Ukrainian, but I can't read, write or communicate complex ideas in Ukrainian. I don't think they understand that. Just because I can't do a lot of things in Ukrainian it doesn't mean that I can't do anything. I was brought to America when I was about 4, and I would go back every summer. I never learned the Ukrainian alphabet, but since I would go back to Ukraine every summer it became really easy to understand everything around me. That I'm doing much better than them despite their lifelong doubts and snarky comments. The best revenge is living well, my friend. Good for you. I'm a virgin and have never dated. I'm told I'm attractive and I go partying a lot and spend some other night at male friends' houses. My parents always make comments about being responsible and safe when I'm leaving the house because they think I have a date, even if I told them my male friends are just friends. Dude, I feel you. She's never been felt though. Where I live, what my phone number is or email address. Do they think you went to buy some milk? No care to know. I've had the same email address for 25 years. My sexual abuse isn't known by 97% of my family or so. My dad has an inkling, and vice versa. I'm positive he was abused by his brother, and my older brother has a habit of getting drunk and trying to get answers out of me about our childhood. His brain seems to have wiped itself clean about it all. Apart from those two, it's entirely my own issue. Yeah, my dad knows I had to see a therapist for depression, and that's why I had to take an extra semester at university, but he doesn't know about the sexual assault that had turned a low-level sadness into something that made me fail my courses. He just knows that I was struggling and that I ended up getting the help I need. My mom knows none of it at all because we both agreed that she already worries about me enough. They don't know that I was physically abused by my ex-wife when I was married to her. They don't know I've twice tried to kill myself by taking sleeping pills and alcohol, or taking interacting drugs within the last 3 months. I do have people who support me and look out for me. Shit's just rough, you know. We got your back in whatever way you need. I appreciate it. There's good people here in Reddit. Thanks for being one of them. That most of them are just people to me. I don't feel any obligation to love them, but a bunch of them are fun to be around, and I'd consider them friends. Love is too strong a word, though. Edit. I feel far stronger attachments to my friends, who I've nurtured relationships with for decades, because we have lots of things in common that aren't as arbitrary or invisible as DNA. This is me. All I have in common with my parents is genetics, nothing more, and while there's no ill will or bad blood, I view interacting with them as a chore done out of obligation. That I do, largely just as a way to see my brother. There's part of me that thinks it would be nice if we were closer, but honestly, I also don't really want to put the extra effort in terms of seeing or speaking to them more, in order to develop such a thing. I've kept a diary for the last 23 years, including a great deal of detail about them, both good and bad. Some very bad, bordering on criminal. My sister is the executrix of my will. Should be interesting after I die. Ghostly laughter. Is you taking notes on a criminal fucking conspiracy? That I crashed a car on purpose to get out of work 3 years ago. Being bullied at work and couldn't face going back. So crashed my car, slowly, into a tree, so I could have several months off while I recovered. Didn't do it to hurt myself or kill myself. I have severe anxiety, and work made it 1,000 times worse. Yes, I know it was stupid, and yes, I know I could have done a million other things. But I needed a way out instantly. I'm not lazy, I'm just severely depressed and have PTSD that makes my everyday life a struggle. I try to behave and do as I'm told, but half the time I don't even see a point in staying alive. I'm sorry I'm not the perfect child you wanted me to be. You're enough, buddy. Keep going. You're stronger than you think. Lots. I don't share their beliefs. Don't share their faith and values. Not a virgin. Went through extreme depression and so much fucked up shit. I'm getting good grades and working. Edit. I'm also B. I was sexually assaulted when I was 7. I'm a dude. Edit. May be the reason I have B-curious tendencies. Also unknown to my family. Hey man, fellow dude here. I carried that burden with me for 18 years until it started making me suicidal. I told my parents and they were very understanding about it, and I haven't really thought about it since then. I've been cutting myself for the past 2 years, working on trying to stop it. Please reach out to them. Mental health is hard to address, but if someone has diabetes, it's not shameful to take insulin, and mental health is no different. If your body isn't producing enough serotonin, it's not shameful to get help, whether that's talking those stuff, medication to even out your hormones, or both. I lost a boyfriend a long time ago to suicide, and I know cutting isn't close to that, but I always wonder if he had gotten the help that he needed, what could have been. It's been right at 10 years, and I promise you he is still loved and missed. They don't know the actual amount of difficulties that I had going through life with undiagnosed ADHD. I got diagnosed at 28 after having essentially my third mental breakdown because of the huge amount of pressure and disgust I put on myself for failing to do even the simplest things. I told my parents and they were devastated, not because I had ADHD, but because they never knew or suspected. And honestly, looking from the outside, it was impossible to see. I was valedictorian, graduated college magna cum laude, participated in tons of activities, seemed to have friends, etc. But I was so broken, and only did those things because of deep shame that resulted in an almost suicide attempt that my body saved me from. It's hard to allow yourself to die from exposure. I was hoping to make it look like an accident, but after my body said nope, not gonna happen, I realized I really needed professional help. I'm doing much better now, but I know my parents wouldn't handle that well. I cried every night for years. I'm 21 and never had a date or any kind of romantic contact to a girl. Everybody thinks I'm a super funny and confident person, but they don't know that I suffer. Well, that actually changed some weeks ago. I've met a girl and had my first kiss and am going on a date next Saturday. I just get in my car and drive. I never really have a destination. I just need to leave. I've done it ever since I had access to cars. My mom will ask why I have a sleeping bag in my car and lines just lie because I don't want the hassle. Driving aimlessly and listening to music is my favorite coping mechanism for pretty much anything. Usually it's my last resort for When I'm really at my breaking point,